my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana. You may be seated. Honorable Colin Crowe, Minister of Housing and Water. Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water. Mr. Sherwin Grieve, Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority. Mr. Coupen, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Water. Ms. Loreno Sororzano Salazar, Resident Representative of the Inter-American Development Bank. Mr. Asa Boué, Consultant from the V75 Inc. Company. Managers of the Central Housing and Planning Authority and staff. Members of the media. Beneficiaries of the Core Home Support and Home Improvement Subsidy programs. Ladies and gentlemen all, good morning. I am Mrs. Donnell Bess Bascom, and I am the Deputy Director of Community Development within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Central Housing and Planning Authority. And it is my distinct pleasure this morning to welcome each of you to this short but very, very significant ceremony to launch the Core Home and Home Improvement mobile application under the Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. Without any further hesitation, please permit me to welcome the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Water, Mr. Coupen, as he addresses you this morning with the welcome and opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I will go back over the protocols again because it's very important from my perspective that I do. Honorable Minister, Mr. Colin Crowe, Minister of Housing and Water. Honorable Minister Susan Rodriguez, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water. Ms. Lorena Solorzano Salazar, the IDB Resident Representative of the Inter-American Development Bank. Mr. Sherwin Greaves, the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority. Mrs. Donnell Bess Bascom, the Deputy Director of Community Development of the Central Housing and CHPA. Of course, our chairperson for this event today, and Mr. Asa Boué, the Director and Development Officer of the V75 company and the company that was responsible for the product we'll be talking about later on today. Esteemed guests, colleagues, fellow citizens, good morning and welcome to each of you. It is both an honor and a privilege to be standing before you today and welcoming you to the introduction of an important initiative that marks a significant stride towards saving time, increased efficiency, accessibility, availability, transparency, and on-demand information for applicants of the Core Homes and Home Improvement Subsidy programs. That initiative is the launch of our new online app for the Core Homes and the Home Improvement Subsidy programs. The goal of the Ministry of Housing and Water has always been to ensure that citizens have access to affordable land ownership and access to housing opportunities in Guyana. Our government, through His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali and our ministers, Honorable Minister Colin Crowe and Honorable Minister Susan Rodriguez, have intensified efforts to ensure that we meet the commitments which were made to our citizens for the housing programs. Those commitments are manifested through many programs, including the Core Homes and Home Improvement Subsidy initiatives. As you know, for any commitment to be realized, Systems must be in place to ensure that our citizens have easy access to pertinent information. This new app that you will hear about today is a testament to part of that commitment. Now, today you will have a distinguished list of speakers who will shed light on various facets of this initiative. Our CEO of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Mr. Greaves, will delve into the heart of the government's Affordable Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. Then you'll receive insights on the new app from the developer of this online app. You'll also hear from our international partner, the resident representative of the Inter-American Development Bank, and then we'll hear remarks from Honorable Minister Susan Rodriguez, and of course the feature address will be delivered by none other than Honorable Minister of Housing and Water, Mr. Colin Crowell. With those words, I want to again welcome you to this very important initiative on the part of the Ministry and the Government of Guyana for the benefit of our stakeholders here. So I think you will find this very rewarding, and it will show you part of the works that the Ministry is undertaking to the benefit of our citizens and as an extension for the fulfillment of the plans of the Government of Guyana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bishram Kupen, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Water. Our next speaker this morning will be giving an overview of the Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. Please help me welcome Mr. Sherwin Greaves, the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
Thank you, Donnell. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister of Housing and Water, Honorable Colin Crowell, Honorable Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Ms. Susan Rodriguez, IDB Representative, Ms. Salazar, hope I got that correct, Representative and Head of the project team, our consultant team, Mr. Bourret, members, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Water, Mr. Kupen, members and staff of Central Housing and Planning and the Ministry of Housing and Water, members of the media, and most importantly, you, the recipients of this great program that have seen houses and subsidies being given out. My task today is to give you an overview of this project application. Today, we at Central Housing and Planning, under the purview of the Ministry of Housing and Water, is pleased to introduce its first mobile application. The Core Home and the Home Improvement app is made possible through the institutional strengthening component of the US $28 million Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program, with financing from one of our consistent multinational partners, the Inter-American Development Bank, with whom the housing sector has enjoyed a long-standing relationship of over 20 years. This component, I must say, has done wonders for Central Housing and Planning. In fact, yesterday, at a meeting with the Islamic Development Bank, they queried from us who does our designs, who does our architectural work, who does our feasibility studies, who does our environmental impact studies. And we could have proudly told them that all are done internally through the help of the IDB, and we wish to thank them very much. This comprehensive program aims to improve the livability of households of low affordability in urban and peri-urban settlements in the Parfait Harmony, Georgetown, and contiguous low-income areas from Grove on the east bank of Demerara to LBI on the east coast of Demerara, and 19 selected contiguous communities beyond LBI ending at Victoria. Apart from providing support to improve the quality of housing for low-income households, the program also addresses the consolidation of existing schemes through the provision of physical infrastructure, community facilities, and restoring livelihoods that may have been disrupted during project activities. Finally, this program also provides to strengthen the capacity of Central Housing and Planning to better implement this and other similar programs. As part of building the capacity of CHNPA to better serve our customers, including Guyanese of low affordability, a Guyana $14 million contract was signed with a local software company, V75 Incorporated, to digitize the beneficiary selection, compliance, and satisfaction process. This was intended to reduce the processing time for applications from the time customers apply to the time they get selected to benefit from the core home support or home improvement subsidy. Other anticipated benefits of the software are to support the organization in monitoring beneficiary compliance and better position the agency to increase the level of satisfaction to our beneficiaries of the program. To date, a total of 323 persons have been selected for the core home support and 928 for the home improvement subsidy, while 73 low-income families are now owners of brand new core homes. And subsidies have been disbursed to the tune of 258 beneficiaries on the East Bank, East Coast, Le Parfait Harmony, and various parts of Georgetown, including Sophia. Another deliverable of this digitization consultancy is the development and the deployment of mobile app, the focus of today's gathering. CHNPA is convinced that access and utilization of digital technologies is a means through which we can foster inclusion regardless of levels of affordability, age, ability, or disability. We believe that digital technology and innovation can be the great equalizer. It is a gateway to realizing the vision of a One Guyana. I urge our beneficiaries to embrace the digital age and use the core home and the home subsidy mobile app. This exercise today is just a precursor to other innovations to come. Some of you may be aware that we are currently digitizing our planning and planning permitting process, by which a single window planning and development system. This electronic planning system is poised to revolutionize the planning and the permitting process by providing a single entry point for CHNPA and its partners agencies, and facilitating easy access for both local and international investors to submit applications online from anywhere in the world, reducing time and increasing efficiency. CHNPA is committed to bridging communication gaps, enhancing our customer experience, and improving our quality of service to all customers as we seek to create through housing sector a better quality of life for all Guyanese. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grease, Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, for the overview of that project. I really like that statement that the digital technology and innovation can be a great equalizer, fostering inclusion of all persons. Thank you, CEO. We will now invite the Director and Development Officer of V75 Inc., Mr. Asa Brewer, who is the person that actually developed this mobile app, that's the company, as he comes to address you this morning. Please help me welcome Mr. Brewer.
Thank you very much. all protocols being observed. Good morning, everyone. Today, I am tasked with a very important job of sharing with you the solution we have developed overall to enable you to have a better application process, being able to monitor your applications. But before we actually go into that, I want to actually discuss who we are. So vCenter 5 is a 100% Guyanese technology company. Since 2014, we've been creating opportunities in tech while delivering cutting-edge digital solutions for applicants, for automating and optimizing business process operations for both local and international clients. We've worked with certain local clients, for instance, the Ministry of Public Works and Transport and Harbors Department, to deliver what some of you will know as Ferry Pass, Schlumberger, IDB, Munishwars Limited, and many more. Today, again, we team up with IDB, along with the Ministry of Housing and Water and Central Housing Planning Authority, along with the IDB, to deliver to you the core home and home improvement subsidy solution. This is essentially an application or a solution that empowers the ministers, the admin personnel, the community development officers, CHMPA engineers, to be able to better handle your applications, whether it is documenting, routing applications for signatures, approvals, as well as being able to update those statuses so that we improve users of the system. There's then the mobile application, which you will be using in order to access your application. You'll be able to track all of your information relating to what you would have submitted to the ministry, what is the current status of your application, what state it's currently in, and many more. And just to share a few value adds for this solution. One, there's a central repository for quick, easy, secure access to your applicant's data. Timely notifications your way. So here, you can access your information at any time. You don't need to go line up into, take time off your busy schedule in order to just, view where your application is. I know a lot of us, we usually go in long lines trying to figure out, what is the status of our current application. Now you'll be able to view that from your mobile devices. So we then have schedule management for visitation. So now you will not be left in the dark. You will know immediately when is your next visit, what is needed, and be able to track whether you need to talk with your contractors or you need to sign a document. That will all be available for you on your application and many more. Today, I would like to thank the Ministry of Housing and Water, Central Housing and Planning Authority, and the IDB for allowing vCenter 5 to automate and optimize the business process to help you all, everyone, all of us, to have a better experience when it comes to managing our core home and home improvement subsidy application process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asa Browe of the V75 Inc. Company, 100% Guyanese, 100% homegrown. We are very pleased and proud to be part of this process with you. So thank you very much. Please permit me to acknowledge the presence of a few persons here in our midst. We have, and I'll ask this person to just give us a quick wave. We have with us the Director of Community Development, Mr. Gladwin Charles, in our midst. We have our Manager of the Information Technology Department of CHMPA, Mr. Daniel Prasad, here in our midst, along with our Public Relations Officer, Ms. Janelle Carter. We also have the engineers, who I know our beneficiaries this morning are very, very familiar with as well. Mr. Jamal Brotherson, Mr. Daquan Ray, Mr. Troy Marks, Mr. Thompson, all in the house today. And I'd also like to acknowledge some of the community development officers who've been working very closely with you. Ms. Fiona Waddle, Ms. Carleen Williams, you have Ms. Fiona Mosley, Mr. Jailal, Mr. Marlon Lane, Ms. Prita Raghunandan, Ms. Siobhan Lakish, Ms. Kendra Seaford, who are working with all of you beneficiaries. Can we put our hands together for these persons who are making this process possible today? All right, our next speaker is no stranger to the CHLBA, no stranger to Guyana. She is the resident representative of the Inter-American Development Bank, Ms. Lorena Solorzano Salazar. Please help me welcome her as she is today.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. All protocols have been observed, but I would like to highlight the impetus, always the approach to adapt new technology of the Ministry of Housing and Water. So this partnership of the IDB and the Ministry of Housing and Water through the Housing and Planning Authority is a long-term relationship that we always are very proud and happy to keep these efforts to improve not just infrastructure, but also how to include some efficiencies in the work that they do. And as the PS mentioned, so everything and that has been in-house, the capacity is increasing. So over the past decades, we have supported the program and witnesses several projects in the hinterland as well in the coastline for low-income households, home improvement subsidies, as well as core home support. So this support, as mentioned, is beyond just the infrastructure and the houses, but also to recognize the sustainability of the processes. This adds a new chapter in that relationship, play a crucial role in crossing from some the local capacity that we have in country related to the digital side in management and implementation. So today we're talking about another giant leap forward, support the supervision process of the improvement and the progress of the houses. In this initial stage, the use of the app really benefited over 100 households with 198 applications. And so this is relevant, and as a result of it, around 100 PS for all the efforts, and of course the whole CHBA team and the local developers, because that's important too, that we find and the government find this initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Solorzano Salazar of the IDB, one of our long-standing partners in the sector. Thank you so much. Our next speaker today is the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water. I know this project is very dear to her heart, and please help me welcome her as she comes to address you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, Ms. Donnell Best Bascom. Allow me please to acknowledge my colleague, Minister Kroll, Permanent Secretary Coppin, whom I believe this is your first official ceremony or the first time he's addressing the public as the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Water. Country Representative, Ms. Lorena Solazarno Salazar. That's as close as I'll get to the pronunciation. Staff of the CHPA. Also to you, the beneficiaries of the Core Home and Home Improvement, a program that is at the heart of what we do at the Ministry of Housing and Water. Of why I believe the housing program was first started under our government back in the 90s. So the Ministry of Housing, of course, our mandate, because we have a tall mandate in which to achieve our objectives there. While you see more of that, this program, I believe, mainly, and that allows you, the beneficiaries, to have the power in your hands. Everybody has a mobile device, this information. One being that it's very convenient for you to know the status of your application, for you to monitor your payments also, for example. So it causes them a lot of anxiety as to whether their application is lost somewhere or we've forgotten them. And so that you haven't heard from us in a while. So this allows you that opportunity to check in on your application to make sure that you're still there in our areas. Secondly, it also represents a move, another installment of the move by our government towards e-governance. So transferring towards digitization and ensuring that we use every technology available to us, the people of our country. Thirdly, it also improves transparency and accountability. So you have full access to your information. Everything has been uploaded to a system that you can check and verify. It's fully transparent and accountable to all of the beneficiaries. So I'm very pleased this morning to be associated with this program. Today I've ditched the suit and I am wearing the uniform of my staff of the Community Development Department, the Special Projects Unit, who have done exemplary work during the period of the implementation of this program, and I'm extremely proud of them. So this morning I stand in solidarity with them and I wear the three logos very proudly: the Ministry of Housing, CHPA, and the Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. So I'm very proud of these young people and the Deputy Director, Ms. Donald Best-Bascom. We also have, of course, Mr. Charles, who is the Director of the Community Development Department, and they are not often recognized for the great work that they do that goes to the heart of our housing program. So I wish to recognize them today and I wish to thank them. I also wish to thank our long-standing development partner, international development partner, the IDB Bank, the IDB, through Ms. Solazarno. So we have done exemplary work as well with the IDB, and we thank you, Ms. Lorena, and we look forward to doing much, much more. This is just the beginning of our relationship, and there's a lot more that we can discuss and that we can implement for the future that will target our most vulnerable people. So thank you, everyone, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that this mobile app lives up to your expectations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water. Next up, we have our very vibrant, hardworking Minister of Housing and Water who has a keen interest in the successful delivery of this project. Please help me welcome the Honorable Colin Crowell, Minister of Housing and Water, as he delivers the feature address this morning.
Thank you very much, our chairperson for today, Ms. Donald Bascom, Deputy Director of Community Development, colleague Minister Susan Rodriguez, our newly minted Permanent Secretary, Mr. Bishram Kupen, CEO of Central Housing and Planning Authority, Mr. Sharon Greaves, Resident Representative of the Inter-American Development Bank, Ms. Lorena Soloranzo Salazar, and please forgive me if I didn't do it right, but we all have to now take that second lesson of learning Spanish, so right pronunciation. Mr. Asa Bure, Director and Development Officer of V75 Company, the hard-working staff. These are the people who really, you know, sometimes you as government and as ministers you get praise, but we can't do this without the support staff. And so I first of all want to start off by all of us giving a round of applause to the hard-working staff of Central Housing and Planning. And so to the team that worked along with our partner, the Inter-American Development Bank and V75, to make this a reality, why we are here today. All other invitees, but more importantly, some of the faces I recognize here, some of the beneficiaries from the core homes, from the subsidies, etc. A huge thank you to all of you for joining us in this launch of the core home and support home improvement app. The Adequate Housing Urban Accessibility Program, as pointed out, has three concepts. One, to deal with affordability and sustainable housing. Two, consolidating of existing schemes. And three, which we don't too often speak of sometimes, the institutional strengthening. This is as a result of a collaboration between, as I said, the implementing agency being, the implementing ministry being Ministry of Housing, but the implementing agency being Central Housing and Planning Authority, on a loan of US $28 million. But when this program started off, about 5 years ago, it had its target of constructing about 250 core homes. And then the homes were capped at a budget of $4 million each. And with that, a budget line item of home improvement subsidy to the equivalent of $500,000 each for 2,000 applicants. And that is for East Bank, East Coast, and Georgetown as in Sophia, as well as West Bank of Demerara, meaning the Parfait Harmony environment. When we got into office, we met with the bank, and we subsequently received a no objection to extend the boundary as well as the target areas. And we were able to increase the subsidies from $500,000 to $750,000. And with a shifting in line item, a target of from 250 core homes to 323 core homes. At the core of this program, though, is a recognition that despite all of our best aspirations, not everyone may be able to own a home without the assistance from the government. And that the communities within the low-income populations tend to have the less adequate infrastructure. Combining these two factors, they can negatively impact the lives of residents of those communities. So this project was intended to improve the quality of the life of the people who live in both the urban and the peri-urban areas of Georgetown through the provision of better access to adequate housing and basic infrastructure for the low-income populations, as well as improve accessibility and mobility services. I am happy to report that through this program, the Adequate Housing Urban Accessibility Program, we have been able to upgrade, as part of this loan, upgrade roads and drains. We have built to date 73 core homes. We have disbursed just under 500 subsidies to various beneficiaries. We have been able to collaborate directly with community leaders. We will be able to ensure that displaced, because when you're implementing project, then you have also displacements that may happen. They were adequately compensated. So if, for example, you had a stall in the path, as in the case when we encountered a lot in Sophia in its development, we were able to work and to have movement happen smoothly. The small business owners in some of those communities also received training from the Guyana Revenue Authority and the Small Business Bureau. So in the areas of financial management, record keeping, business development, and tax advisory. So it's not only about focusing on the hard infrastructure, but it's also the soft side, improving and making rounded citizens awareness. So there's a process, of course, that applicants had to go through, the CEO outlined. And as everyone said, this process can be time-consuming, for some cases, frustrating for persons who are waiting. And then, the nature of this program is targeting the vulnerable community. So the app that will be launched today will make that process easier and faster. I want to thank the company responsible, V75, and its developers for developing this app. And I'm quite excited to see how it will help us to achieve our targets. I also want to thank the bank, the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank, for providing invaluable support to the technical team. We could not have implemented this project without your support. Thank you. And our relationship as a ministry with the IDB goes a long period. You have, for example, for which a closeout session will be sometime in October. We have the Hinterland Housing Program that we have had collaborations with the IDB in the past. And similarly, in other interventions in terms of community development, funding, recreational facilities, the bank has played its role. It would be remiss of me, therefore, if I don't conclude without quickly, in similar vein and similar nature, briefly update you where we are at with the implementation of our single window unit platform. All, as is being done today, in keeping with making our lives easier, accessibility, as well as ease of doing business. We are on a round of awareness, public awareness, you can say public awareness, but this is targeted awareness. at the users level. So the real users for this program, the single window, will also have agencies that are involved at the local authorities level. So engagement with the neighborhood democratic councils in the regions, the regional players, different agencies that will have a role in their no objection and approval process. But the final aspect of that implementation will have two more announcements in due time. One, very shortly, within this month, we'll see the gazetting of the regulations in terms of the single window guidelines. And very shortly, as soon as we complete with our awareness aspect and the users, we feel comfortable of their users to understand, very shortly, we will officially launch the online platform that will see you wherever you are in this world, whichever corner of the world you are. Once you have access to internet, one will be able to make their application for construction. All part of the transformation and development, the rapid transformation and development that is taking place in our country. And so it's not only about agendas of infrastructure, but it is also in the form of legislative agenda. So I'm looking forward to see the app in action. Let me close again by thanking all who have brought us to this point, and that you continue to put your best foot forward as you've been doing in ensuring that all our projects, all our programs, and all the guidelines that our government continue to provide and would like as an enabler to make the lives of our citizens better, that we continue to do so, and that at the end of the day, as you've seen in all of our program, in our allocations program, etc., all citizens or all categories of citizens are beneficiaries. What we do is design programs to ensure that we are able to help bridge that gap. And I close by making this point. We have allocated, for example, about 26,000 allocations. Of that, considered on the low-income bracket, are over 50%. So that will give you an idea of our focus as a government to ensure that we have equitable distribution. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Tracking your core home support and home improvement subsidy applications has never been easier. Introducing the new user-friendly core home support and home improvement subsidy mobile app that works seamlessly on any smart device from anywhere convenient to you. With just one click, monitor your application's progress, access all details on the go, and experience real-time updates. The app lets you know when you'll receive your core home keys or materials for improving your home are available. Download the app today from the Google Play Store or Apple Store and sign in by using your 4-digit application number, tax identification number or TIN, and date of birth. Yes, it is that easy. The Central Housing and Planning Authority continues to embrace technology as we deliver excellent service and make good on our mandate to provide affordable and adequate housing. The Core Home Support and Home Improvement Subsidy app, designed just for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Core Home and Home Improvement Subsidy app is now live. Put your hands together. The app is now launched. And we'd like to invite our beneficiaries who are here this morning to open your apps. I know it's downloaded on your phones. Enter your 4-digit application number, and you can check your status. You can receive notifications, etc. So while you were on your way in this morning, you were given a correspondence that told you what your application number is. This is the number that you will use to access the app. You put that in, you put in your TIN number and your date of birth. So nobody else has access to your platform except you. And you can receive your information there. Has anybody been able to successfully sign in? All right, just give me a wave, those of you who are successfully signed in. All right, so I'm going to come across to those in the front row to see and hear from you what you discovered in your app. Pardon? All right, so I see we have some staff providing some support if you have a little bit of a challenge. We have Ms. Waddle moving through and providing you with some help as needed. If you're having any challenge getting in, just let us know. We have persons to support you. We just want to make sure that you are comfortable with the use of it. So please give me a thumbs up once anybody in the front row has been in and there is a notice or anything that you see there. So, all right, so I just check Marlon, just give me a thumbs up once you're ready there. Has anybody seen like a notice come in? A message come in once you signed into the app? If you have, just give me a wave. Is anybody seeing the status of their application? Just give me a wave when you do. All right, so for persons who have the iPhones, just to indicate your download process will require one extra step, which will be to download the test app, and then you'll be able to download the Apple app, so it's accessible to everyone. All right, so can I hear what you saw on your phone, sir? All right, there isn't a mic over there, but one of our home improvement beneficiaries just received a notification that his materials are on the way and delivery commences tomorrow for him with his home improvement subsidy materials. He's been just notified of that via the app, so congratulations to you, sir. Yes, sir, can I hear what's... You got the same notice? Awesome. Anybody else? All right, so I think we have some mics on this side. Can you tell us what you got, what notice you got or status by the app?
First of all, I would like to say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
On my phone, I have congratulations. I will be receiving my new core keys.
Can you please come to the front now? Anybody else? Congratulations to you. Anybody else has gotten a message on this side? You will be receiving your new core home keys. Congratulations to you, and we invite you to come to the front.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And first of all, I must give praise and thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm saying congratulations. You will now be receiving your core home keys.
All right, congratulations to you. So you can come as well. Come to the front. Come to the front as well. Anyone else got a notice? So we have some persons getting notice on the dates that their materials are going to be delivered. Some of you starting tomorrow. The rest of you will be hearing as your application progresses when your materials will be delivered. So no need for long visits to the office. You're going to do this right on your phone and know where it goes as we progress. And for core home beneficiaries, as your home construction progresses, you can also know what percentage we're at via the app as well. All right, so we're making this easy for everyone. So might I invite our beneficiaries to come to the front to uplift the keys to their core homes. So we're going to have you stand. And I'd like to also invite Minister Kroll, the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Honorable Colin Kroll, Mr. Bisram Kupen, our CEO, and Ms. Lorena Solorzano Salazar of the IDB as well to help me with the presentation. We're inviting beneficiaries Juan Melville, Ms. Paulette Niles, Ms. Pauline Harry, Ms. Savitri Prasad, and Mr. Vikram Naipal to the front. You will be presented today with the keys to your brand new core home. We know it's been a wait, and we're happy to be at this point and to celebrate today with you. We also want to remind persons of the commitment and the requirement as per your contract. Occupancy is required within 1 month of receiving the keys today. All right, so 1 month from today, persons are required to occupy the core homes, and where there are existing structures, if you have a core home, if you have a structure on your lot that you were occupying before, that is required to be dismantled once you occupy the core home. So congratulations. We are going to ask the first person to come up, Mr. Juan Melville. Miss Juan Melville.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Juan Melville. We're going to ask our Honorable Colin Kroll to present the core home keys to Ms. Juan Melville. We're going to ask her to come to the front.
Take this background.
Oh, this background, okay.
Oh, this.
All right, so I'll ask our cameraman to help me with the arranging. But we want to use this background, so let me step out of the way. Okay, so I'll come back then. Congratulations to you, Ms. Melville. Can we ask Ms. Pauline Harry to step forward? All right, thank you. Congratulations, Ms. Pauline Harry. Congratulations on the receipt of your keys today. And thank you very much, Minister Kroll. So beneficiaries are receiving today the keys to their home as well as the electrical inspection certificate, so they can go straight on to the Guyana Power and Light and have their electricity connected once they have their keys. Thank you, Minister Kroll. I'd like to next invite Minister Susan Rodriguez and to invite beneficiary Ms. Paulette Niles to step forward and receive her keys today. Congratulations, Ms. Niles. All right, thank you, Minister Rodriguez. We'll now invite Ms. Savitri Basad, and I'd like to invite Ms. Lorena Solorzano Salazar to do this presentation. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you, Ms. Savitri Prasad. Next up, I'd like to invite Mr. Vikram Naipal, and I'd like to also invite Mr. Sherwin Greaves, our CEO, to do the presentation of the Core Home Keys to Mr. Naipal. Congratulations to you, Mr. Naipal. Ladies, let's give a round of applause to all our Core beneficiaries here today from Region 3, West Bank Demerara, who are receiving their Core Home keys. And let me say thank you to the Honorable Minister Colin Kroll, to Honorable Susan Rodriguez, to our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Sherwin Greaves, Ms. Lorena Solorzano Salazar, as well as our Permanent Secretary, Mr. Bishram Kupin. Ladies and gentlemen, all, thank you for being here today, and we extend congratulations to our Core Home beneficiaries. Please help me welcome once again our Permanent Secretary as he delivers the closing remarks for today's proceedings, and beneficiaries, you may take your seats. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I'm sure that was a very rewarding experience at the fulfillment of dreams, where those keys were just delivered to those new proud homeowners. Colleagues all, as we conclude today's launch event, I am reminded of an adage, an important adage, that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, with the unveiling of this app, we have taken yet another crucial step towards ensuring transparency, efficiency, and most importantly, hope for many of our fellow citizens with the pertinent information that is required, especially when you have applied for a home or land, etc., and you're waiting information on that. This app now empowers you to a large extent so that you can have ease of mind and you can have information that you actually need. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of the speakers today. Your insights, commitment, and passion are absolutely important and noteworthy. And it is reassuring to see that the future of our housing initiatives are in such capable hands. As was previously mentioned, this initiative would not have been realized without, of course, the hard work of the members, the staff members of the Community Development Department of the Central Housing and Planning Authority. So again, if you could join me to give them a round of applause for the hard work and the continuation of such work. To our partner at the IDB, I want to thank you on behalf of the Ministry and the CHNPA for your unwavering support. Collaborations like these are testament to what can be achieved when the right forces come together with a unified goal. And finally, to you, our dedicated citizens, who have trusted us with your aspirations and dreams, we want to thank you. Thank you for having hope that your dreams can come true once you've applied and you've applied yourself to ensure that you get the homes that you're looking for or the land under the government's programs. This app is not just a tool. It is a commitment, a promise that we will stand by in your journey towards acquiring your home and getting the assistance you need. Let us remember that with innovation, collaboration, and dedication, we can build a brighter future, an inclusive and brighter future for all of our citizens in Guyana. So I want to thank you for being part of this important landmark moment, and also to thank our honorable ministers, of course, the guiding force behind the entire ministry and its agencies, for the initiatives that we're seeing realized today. Thank you very much, and best of luck to all of you, and look forward to seeing the smiles on your faces as you become successful in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this part of the proceeding is now concluded. And as you take your leave, please ensure that you take part in our refreshments when you get to the bottom of the stairs. The staff is waiting there for you all the way out to serve you your refreshments.